You think your dog is just licking you because it's cute, or maybe because they want attention. That's what most people believe. But the truth is far more emotional, far more psychological, and honestly, far more powerful than you've ever considered. Because when your dog licks you while you're sad, they are not reacting randomly. They are responding to something inside you that you don't even realize you're showing. Something silent, something invisible, something deeply human, yet instantly readable by your dog. When sadness hits you, your body starts changing in subtle ways. Your posture lowers without you noticing. Your breathing becomes slower. Your movement becomes less energetic. Even your voice, if you speak, loses its usual tone. But there's something even more important happening underneath all of that. Your body chemistry shifts. Stress hormones like cortisol rise, and this actually changes your natural scent. You don't smell it, but your dog does. And for them, smell is not just smell, it is information. Emotional information. So even before you say a word, your dog already knows something different about you. And here's where it gets interesting, because your dog doesn't think like you. They don't analyze sadness. They don't ask, why are you sad? Instead, they respond to change. Change in behavior, change in energy, change in presence. And when that change happens, their instinct is not to ignore it, but to move closer. That's where the licking begins. That first lick is not random affection. It is a behavioral response. Almost like your dog is saying, I sense something has shifted. I need to check you. But what most people completely misunderstand is that licking is not just love. In the dog world, licking is communication. It starts from puppyhood. Puppies lick their mother for comfort, for reassurance, for bonding. It calms tension. It builds trust. It creates emotional safety. So when your adult dog licks you during sadness, they're not just repeating a habit. They are activating a deeply rooted emotional language. A language that says, I am here. I am connected to you. You are not alone. Now here's where it gets even deeper psychologically. Dogs don't just react once and stop. They observe your response. That pause between licks matters more than the lick itself. Because in that moment, your dog is watching you. Your face, your breathing, your energy. They are checking if their action has changed your state even slightly. If you relax, if you look at them, if you soften, they continue. Because in their mind, they're doing something meaningful, something helpful. And this is where emotional bonding becomes something much deeper than people realize. Over time, your dog learns patterns. They begin to connect your sadness with specific behaviors. Quietness, sitting still, emotional withdrawal, and eventually, they build an emotional response system around you. So when they see those patterns again, they don't hesitate. They move closer. They lick. They stay near. Not because they are trained, but because they have learned that your emotional state matters. But here's a question that most people never think about. Why licking specifically? Why not just sitting beside you? Why not just watching you silently? The answer is fascinating, because licking is not just emotional. It is also biological self-regulation. When dogs lick, their brain releases calming chemicals. It reduces stress. It soothes anxiety. So when your dog licks you during sadness, something important is happening. They're calming themselves while trying to calm you. It becomes a shared emotional regulation process. Two nervous systems syncing together without language. And this is where the connection becomes almost invisible but extremely powerful. Because your emotional state is no longer just yours in that moment. It is partially reflected in your dog. And their response is not detached. It is deeply involved. They're not watching you from distance. They're inside your emotional environment with you. That's why their presence feels so grounding, so stabilizing, so real. But there's another layer people miss completely. Dogs don't understand sadness the way humans do. They don't know about heartbreak, stress, or emotional trauma. But they understand something even more fundamental: disruption. When your normal emotional energy changes, they feel it instantly. And disruption in a pack animal's environment triggers one instinct above all else: stay close, restore stability, maintain connection. And in their world, you're not just a person. You are their anchor, their emotional reference point. their stability. So when you fall emotionally, they don't distance themselves. They move closer, because in their instinct, closeness restores balance. That's why your dog doesn't walk away when you are sad. They come toward you. Now here's something even more emotional that most people overlook. Your dog is not trying to fix your sadness. They're not trying to solve your problem. They're not even trying to understand it. They're doing something much more profound. They're choosing presence over solution. Humans often try to fix pain. Dogs simply stay inside it with you. That is why their comfort feels so different. It doesn't feel logical. It feels emotional. And think about your own experiences for a moment. When you're completely overwhelmed, words don't always help. Advice doesn't always help. But silent presence, that changes something. And that is exactly what your dog offers. A presence that does not demand explanation. A connection that does not require understanding. So when your dog licks you during sadness, it is not a small behavior. It is a layered emotional response. It is instinct, learning, bonding, chemistry, and empathy, all expressed through a simple action. A lick that carries more meaning than most words ever could. And the more you understand this, the more your perception of your dog changes. Because suddenly, they're no longer just reacting to you. They are reading you, responding to you, and emotionally aligning with you in ways most humans never realize. So the next time your dog comes close when you're feeling low and gently licks your hand or your face, don't dismiss it as random affection. Don't reduce it to habit, because in that moment, something very real is happening. Your dog is not just near you physically. They are tuned into your emotional world. And maybe that is the most powerful truth of all. Your dog doesn't just live in your home. They live in your emotional life. And when you are sad, they don't step away from it. They step into it with you. Because your dog isn't just reacting to your sadness. They're staying with you inside it.